How you guys all doing today? Today's video is going to be about the Jedi Luke event, and this footage is all brought to you by a guildmate of mine named Skycler, and I just really appreciate him letting me share this with you guys. So I know there's a lot of other people streaming. I think Arnold did his buddy's account, or I don't even know. Other people doing their own accounts and streaming it, but I thought I might do a video on this just so if you guys want to go back and view it later, it'll be a lot easier to view for you guys. And this isn't really going to be a whole guide about it all, about the whole event. And actually, it's going to be more just about you guys looking at the event and just watching it. For a couple phases, I will give you guys some tips and tricks for, I think it was the ship phase and tier 6 of what I would do personally to help out in your guys' run. But in all the other phases, I'll just let it play. No face cam. You guys can just play and you can just watch it. So yeah, I think we'll get started here. And you know what? I might come back here for phase 4, whatever the ship phase is. I'll be back here and I'll talk more about it, and we can get some more insight about how to beat some of these harder tiers. But in all, this is a great fun event. I think this is probably my favorite event so far I've ever seen, and it's just a lot of fun. So I can't wait to get my Luke unlocked in a few months for the next time. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so this is, I think, tier 4 or 5? I think it's 5. It's the ship one. The ship one is a kind of a tough one if you don't know what you're doing. This one isn't really RNG dependent. Yeah, there's a bit, but honestly, there's not that much involved. You just want to make sure that you can get all of your ships out of there in the hyperdrive mode. The only way to do that is to get as many turns until you reach that limit, and then you can actually use the hyperdrive to get out of there. First things first, I would probably say to go after the TIE Fighter. Focus him down, use your basics. Don't really use your roll. Don't use your outmaneuver. And don't use your AoE unless you absolutely have to. And also, you can get that shield disruption pretty early on that TIE Bomber with your Y-Wing. So you can get him out of the picture pretty early as well. But just one of the big things here, once you do hit that threshold, which should be pretty easy for you to hit for getting your guys out of there in the hyperdrive mode, you always want to take out and get Wedge out of there first. He's going to be pretty squishy. This one we're rocking today is a Gear 11 Wedge in Skycler's his team and his gear. But you got to get him out of there first. And the reason being is that because sometimes it's happened to me here when I was watching this as Skycler was playing, I saw them use the Executrix using the ultimate so many times on me. And the reason we want to bring out Wedge out of there first is because your Y-Wing and also your how's this pause it? Your Y-Wing and also your Falcon can tank probably all that AoE ultimate damage. But in a scenario like that we're seeing right here, we didn't need to worry about that because both of our ships would be going before the Executrix even goes. And it buys us enough time we can all use the hyperdrive and it's going to be okay. But yeah, I mean, again, I could go a whole different route on the guide here if you guys want me to, but this is really just about you guys watching it and all. But yeah, let's go back to the viewing. Oh, baby. And then you have tier 6. This is the hardest one for sure. Way, 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 way tough. A lot of RNG here. Not as much as any other event, though. If I were to really say what this is kind of like, let me pause it for a second. What I would say this is more like is more like a Chewbacca event with having some of the, you know, people having to not kill some specific people. In this case is Chewbacca, and you don't want your Chewie to die at all, or else it's not looking good for you. So one of the first things you want to do, I have my Rolo going first, my Leia going first, Chewbacca goes afterwards. You have a nice little cleanse yourself and advantage for everybody, and inflicts blind. You want to make sure that sticks on some of these people. Most importantly, I would say the AoE people, and in this case, the officer can do AoE damage. You deflect that, and then you want to get some of your own damage ramping. And a big thing here of what I feel like is pretty paramount in this event and for this phase is to not only, yeah, you want to make sure that the blinds stick, but getting some finishing blows with your Chewbacca here, because on this special, the second special, if you get any kills, you get increased stacking offense by 5% for each person that you kill. And that will translate over to the second phase, which is a very, very hard phase. So in this one, we're still trying to just get blind on them all. Don't take as much damage here. The modding here, I would say, go for a lot of protection here, a lot of crit damage as well, and some defense if you can have some defense in there. You want your Rolo to be kind of fast, Chewbacca as well. Lino doesn't need to be that fast, in my opinion. Just make them all tanky. So in this case, they'll have really high turn order and turn meter going into this second phase, and that's pretty important. So we're going to start off with a blind. The worst blind I ever had while I was watching this, it was really bad. He's just really, really bad blind all the way around. And then we do that. We got... Oh man, he got the ability block to stick on Boba Fett, which is huge. And we get that huge, huge AoE. It's really, really nice to see. Boba Fett is the scariest person in this phase. You want to make sure that you can stop him. The blinds hardly ever stick to him, which is a very, very annoying thing. We did not get a ability block there from our Chewbacca. And now we're going to go for Stormtrooper because we're stuck to. But in this case, you just want your Chewie to survive. Right there, we got pretty lucky. We stuck the blind, but with Boba Fett's execute, it doesn't matter. He's going to just go through it regardless. We did get crit some other times, and that's pretty awesome. We just killed some of them, and the AoE just goes off and just destroys. In this scenario, I was like, oh my gosh, is he going to win this? But yeah, we're going to win that because the Rolo's AoE just stacks and stacks, and depending on if there's only one person there, it just does all the damage towards that one person, which is pretty awesome. So, Tier 6, what are some of the guides here? The modding is pretty important. Saving some of your specials for the second phase, and don't take as many hits going in the second phase, and hoping in the second phase that you can stick some of the ability blocks and hopefully a blind onto the Boba Fett. So that's really all I gotta say about that. I can go more in depth on it, I guess, for future ones, because I really can't replay this at the moment. But yeah, that's that one. And the rest, guys, this is what I'll stop right here. Thank you guys for watching, and enjoy the rest of this footage. This is cool animations you'll see from here on out. Awesome. I actually really like this animations from the next two tiers. Great stuff, CG, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out. Have a good one.